Spoilers, my God.
Dude, you should have watched this. We talked about this so much. But yeah, spoilers. I'll put a disclaimer at the beginning when I edit it. Spoilers for some of these musicals. Apologies to people. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Down Once More. Matt here, and Brad is joining me this week for we are going to do a musical villains song draft, or villains musical song draft, whatever you want to call it. First, we need to figure out who's going to go first, and I did a completely above board, use a wheel spin to decide who was going first. Brad is contesting it because he claims it was a tie. It was on the line, even though the computer said it wasn't. So you will see it will be in here. We will spin and see what comes up. Who's going to go first? All right. Brad, can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay.
Is this the rigged one that you already did?
No, there's the new one. It's completely fresh.
Okay, because I want to show
fresh
you.
and live.
This is zoomed in.
Dude, it's on the yellow. It's
decide.
on Matt. It's on the yellow. It's on Matt. Okay. But there's 5 instances of each of our names. Because if I just have each of our names once, that's stupid. That's just going over. So 5 instances, each of our names. You see total entries, 10, Matt, Brad, Matt, Brad, Matt, Brad, Matt, Brad, Matt, Brad. So no duplicates. Ready, go. Ball
Okay,
don't lie.
Ball don't lie. I can accept
Ball don't
that.
lie.
That
Okay.
one, that was absolutely fair.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get right into it. I guess first off, Brad, welcome. I didn't give you a chance to speak before we went into our contested spin. Welcome. Thanks for joining.
Hey, happy to be here. Really quick, before we get going, are your allergies kicking your ass as much as mine are?
I have not been able to breathe for the last week and a half. I have gone through a box and a half of Kleenexes in the past 8 days. So it's rough.
Only from allergies, Matt?
Yep, just allergies. But yes, it has been brutal. I have been mouth breathing like a motherfucker. So apologies. It could be a really fun podcast to listen to. If both of us, dude, my doctor gave me nasal spray. I've got that. I'm taking Xyzal too. I'm sometimes doubling up, throwing an Allegra in there. But when I went to Rhode Island for a week, I did not bring my nasal spray, and that's when it really started fucking me up.
You never texted me about hanging out.
Because I got to Chicago at like 8 in the morning. Got off the plane at 8:30, and my boarding was at 12. I apologize. I had been up since 2:45. I got less than 3 hours of sleep. I was dead, and I felt like shit. And I hate you.
Your first villain song.
Okay.
Cheater. Not cheater.
So we're going to do 5 rounds. We're going to do top 5 songs each. So we'll go back and forth with 2 people. We're not going to do a snake draft, and then we'll do some honorable mentions at the end.
I'm gonna have to caveat this. This is gonna be a very Disney heavy.
That's fair.
List for me, partly because I think Disney really does villain songs well, but also like a lot of the musicals that I've been pulling towards recently don't have a clear-cut villain.
Right.
Like I would say that the doctor dipshit in Waitress is my villain. The husband too. Any of the guys.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not going to be like any song the doctor sings. So
You Matter to Me, peak villain song.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I feel like in most modern musicals, there's not a clear-cut villain in them. In most, there's some that are in there. So yeah, this one, that's why we didn't specify. This isn't just Broadway villain songs. This is any form of musical. So like you said, probably be a lot of Disney heavy. Take West End, off Broadway, anything. If it isn't from a musical production in some manner or other, it counts. If there's things that we feel very strongly about and we want to argue and contest, so be it. But my one of one pick that I'm going to go with, because I know you will take it if I don't, is going to be Hellfire from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, no, I was gonna pick that. I was gonna pick that high.
Mm-hmm.
That's classic. Tell me why you pick it more than just spite, Matt. What makes this one of one for you?
No, I think it's one of the best villain songs of all time. It's just the orchestration from it, and then just the chants in Latin from like when people are confessing in the background, and it's Frollo confronting his lust for Esmeralda, and like the line, so let her burn in hell or let her be mine and mine alone. Just like, okay, either she needs to die and suffer and burn and be punished, or be mine. And just that lust. Your dog's not happy. He doesn't like Hellfire. And so I think it's one of the best villain songs out there, and it was performed great on the kind of off-Broadway production that they did as well, too, of the musical, the full musical. I actually really enjoy the cast album of that, and so no, it's up there. What are your notes you had with it as well?
I think that you take a top tier song from the, for me, one of one Disney villain. He's, I think, the best Disney villain there is.
Yeah.
And so I gotta get behind that.
Yeah.
Mad respect for Hellfire as your one of one.
He doesn't have any redeeming qualities. Like, he's not like a sympathetic villain. Like,
no,
he is a pure true villain. And they even added more nuance in the full like stage production, where they had that Quasimodo's father is Judge Frollo's brother, who had left and gone the outskirts, and there's more backstory. But yeah, I just think great song. So all right.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to take that, so at least not first. So I got to kind of scramble, go with my backup, and I'm going to stick with another Disney classic villain, which is my second favorite kind of Disney villain song, and I'm going to go "Poor Unfortunate Souls."
Mm-hmm.
"Poor Unfortunate Souls," Ursula, our introduction to Ursula, who's also a great villain, and the way she's wooing Ariel and revealing exactly who she is while putting that sugary coating on it, and trying to sell Ariel on her dream of becoming a human, I think is just an absolute captivating song. Great performance in the original animated movie. Also, I haven't seen it on any stage productions, but Melissa McCarthy kind of crushed it as Ursula in the live action Little Mermaid. I don't know that I have much else positive to say about the live action reboot. Just anthropomorphic fish. I just like, like realistic fish that can talk. It doesn't do it for me. I think Ariel, the girl that played Ariel, did a great job as well. I thought Eric sucked, but Ursula, Melissa McCarthy's Ursula, I thought was the standout there. So Poor Unfortunate Souls, that's what I'm taking with my first pick.
Nice, solid pick. Yeah, I still haven't watched the live action one. I was going to wait till whenever we eventually review it on here. Rayleigh reviewed it when it first came out, because Ursula and Poor Unfortunate Souls was one of her go-tos. But yeah, I have still not watched it. But Halle Bailey has a beautiful voice, so I'm sure she crushes it as Ariel. And yeah, I've seen the Scuttlebutt song, I think it's called, that was thrown in there. And I don't know. I feel like Lin-Manuel Miranda has done some stuff that's tarnishing his reputation. I don't care for that song at all, but maybe kids love it, and it is a kid's movie.
My kids love it, and it sucks ass so hard. Like, honestly, no disrespect, Lin-Manuel has done incredible things in his career. He's given us some truly iconic songs, and even some truly iconic Disney songs. The Moana soundtrack is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
But Alan Menken is still my GOAT Disney songwriter.
Yeah.
And you can't do the Lin-Manuel thing over top of a Menken musical.
Yeah, it doesn't mesh. It doesn't work well at all.
Nope.
In my opinion. Okay.
Round two, baby.
Round two. My second pick, I am going to go with, because even though I don't think it's on your list at all, but it's one of my favorite villain songs, and it's Meant to Be Yours, from Heathers, the musical.
Mhm.
So it's towards the climax of the show, when JD's fully snapped and revealed his kind of true nature. Talk about his plot to blow up the school in a whole demonstration, scaring Veronica, all of
Well,
this whole thing, and
spoilers.
just, well, sorry, it's been out for a long time, many moons. And so I just think it's the climax, and him just has truly most unhinged. And this is after he shot multiple people and killed multiple people and plotted, but you're just seeing him completely unraveled, and him just having
Yeah.
this kind of trying to justify it himself and feel entitled and like he's in the right and doing this whole big crusade, and helping the world. And I feel like it's truly just a great villain song, and Jamie Moscato does a fantastic job performing it on the West End cast recording. So that's my second pick.
Great. I'm not going to belabor this much. I'm going to also take one that it's probably on your list at some point. I don't know if you're thinking second round, but I'm going to go just based on my affection for this song and this musical in general. I'm taking Stars from Les Mis.
It is on my
Javert,
list.
another incredible, incredible villain, because and kind of like Frollo, he has that that vibe where what makes him truly terrifying is that he believes he is right. He believes that he's fighting for justice. He believes he's the good guy, and that I think is what makes a truly like chilling villain, or
Yeah.
one of the ways you can make a truly chilling villain. Stars is a great song. It comes at a really pivotal and a melodramatic moment in the play.
Yep.
And second round, Stars. Lock it in.
Perfect. I think that's a good one. I'm debating. I did have that on my list. It was in my top 5. So good snag there. I have a couple ones lined up, and I'm trying to figure out if you're going to take one or not. So if I go with it or not. But I think I'm going to go with my third pick is World Burn, from Mean Girls, sung by Regina George, which is when she's about to release the burn book, and when she's releasing it in the school. If you're familiar with the plot of Mean Girls, just at that moment when she's just finds out everything that Katie's done and kind of releasing everyone in her plot to get everyone to turn on Katie. And great song, performed fantastically, by both Taylor Louderman on the original Broadway cast and Renee Rapp in the musical movie. Renee Rapp's performance in the musical movie, one of the only redeeming things about the musical movie. Although Ali Carvalho's performance is also fantastic. Moana herself as Gretchen, not
No
Gretchen,
shit.
as Janice. Yep, she's great as Janice. And so is Jaquel Spivey as Damien. But
Love it.
there's some good performances in there, but overall, I've talked about it at length on here. Sucks. I like the musical, don't like the musical movie, except for some of the performances. But yeah, that's going to be my third pick.
All right. I figure I should probably put some respect back on Lin-Manuel Miranda's name, since I do really respect him and I do like a lot of his stuff, and I don't like talking bad about him. Give me You'll Be Back, Hamilton. You know how much I love this this song. I love the character of King George. Jonathan Groff is absolutely incredible. The humor that he delivers that with, and just the tongue-in-cheek wit of that song is absolutely perfect. You'll Be Back. Round 3.
I had that on my list as well. It was a great one. I'm gonna switch up my order. I'm gonna also go with the Lin-Manuel one, because I do think he is very talented. We reviewed In the Heights together. Fantastic work. And one of his newest works that I feel like is one of his best is the Warriors concept album that he did with Issa Davis. I actually really enjoy it. It brings
like the
in
book series about cats.
No,
Fighting
like
cats?
the old, I think it was from the 80s about all the gangs in New York. So basically they
That's
have,
West Side Story.
nope, different one. There's another one, a more
Gangs of New
modern one.
York.
Yeah. No, Warriors.
American Gangster.
Yes, American Gangster.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington reprises his role. But no,
Not the
it's
strongest singer,
no.
unfortunately.
But
No,
they kind
Warriors.
of they
Okay.
gender swap the gang. So it's about gang traveling to a meeting point, trying to be a whole peace brokerage with all the gangs. There's hundreds of gang members in the movie, and the main person who's trying to broker a peace gets shot, and then it gets blamed on the
Ugh.
Warriors. Why Warriors are trying to get back home to Coney Island and going through all the different gangs' territory. And so that's the plot of the movie. It's they're going through and interacting and kind of confronting the different gangs. Lin-Manuel Miranda and Issa Davis did a concept album of it, and it's actually really good. It's one of my favorites. But the song that I'm picking is Going Down, and it is performed by Kim Dracula, is the performer's
Great name.
but it is after, so Luther is who Kim Dracula plays, and Luther's the one that shoots Cyrus, who's the one trying to broker for peace, and blames it on the Warriors. And so there's a song when Luther's singing about the Warriors being blamed and everything happening and just the chaos ensuing. And it's one of my favorites. It's a different vibe than almost any other Lin-Manuel song. It's got a little bit more of like a punk rock feel to it. Both of Luther's songs, that Going Down and Luther's Interlude, two of my favorites from the track album. But that album has so much variety to it, and I think it's some of Lin-Manuel's best work. He said right now, no plans to turn it into a stage show, but it was a pretty successful album, and you should check it out if you haven't already. It's got Coleman Domingo in it too. He's been in a lot of things lately, nominated for a bunch of awards for Sing Sing. But yeah, that's going to be my second to last pick. So what you got for your fourth pick, Brad?
I'm going to try to block you. I'm going to try to anticipate what I think you're going to do, or what you would want to do for your fifth pick. And I am going to claim for myself the musical that inspired this entire podcast. I'm going Music of the Night. And its reprise.
Okay.
From
it
Phantom.
Wasn't on my list.
What?
Well, I mean, sorry. It was on my list, but it wasn't on like my top 8. Like I wasn't going to take that for my fifth pick.
That's interesting.
But it is on my
interesting.
list. Wait, time out. Let's establish a ground rule now. We should have at the beginning. Are we doing if a song from the musical is picked, then that musical is off the table?
Clip this. Put it at the beginning. But the answer is yes.
Okay. That's kind of was my vibe too. Like I had another one on my list. I wasn't planning on taking it 5, but Point of No Return, I feel like is one that could be up there too. But Music of the Night is the one I have. So sorry, you can elaborate on it now.
Music of the Night, I think, is for me the quintessential villain song for the Phantom in that musical for a couple of reasons. First of all,
you got no mic. You killed it. Now we back.
And that's why I picked Music of the Night. No. So Music of the Night, I think, really captures what makes the Phantom such a compelling villain. Because in the first instance of it, you see his sensitive side. You see his care for Christine. But he's also kind of a psycho stalker. So all the complexity of the Phantom is there, but that specifically that moment in the reprise where Christine and Raoul are singing together, and the Phantom's hearing, and when they walk off, and you hear him, and he just goes, "You will curse the day you did not do." Oh my God!
I hate to break it to you, that's the All I Ask of You reprise.
All I Ask of You reprise,
not Music of the Night reprise. I don't think Music of the Night has a reprise. But I agree, that is a fantastic moment. It should be.
a Music of the Night reprise.
It should, because it does speak.
But still,
like
what I said about Music of the Night holds true. I'm sorry.
It does.
Please don't crucify me in the comments.
We won't. People have tuned out by now. You're good.
Yes, it's true. They're not paying attention. No,
Exactly.
so Music of the Night shows the complexity of the Phantom in all his twisted glory.
Yep. I agree. It does. It shows how, what he believes is care and love for Christine, which is actually just kind of just obsession. But great pick. I am going to go with one that is a little bit of a reach, but I feel like it's a great villain song because it represents the villain turn. And that is going to be Brand New Day from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Oh my goodness. That wasn't even on my radar, but that is an absolute stellar pick. That's really good.
Just that moment when he has snapped, Captain Hammer has pushed him over the edge, and he's decided he's going to kill him. And that's the way to do it with his death ray. And so that's going to be my pick. And I'm really happy with the 5 that I got. And I'm really happy to close it out with that one. There was part of me that was worried you would throw that one in there. But
I didn't even think about
hesitant.
that, but that's a great pick.
Thank you.
I'm just going to go for pure fun for my last one.
Perfect.
Based on what I like. And I'm going to pick Gaston, Beauty and the Beast. Yep. It's more a song about a villain than it is like narratively part of the villain's arc. But boy, does that slap every time.
Yep.
Gaston. I too like my 5. I think like most of these drafts that we've done, I represent the voice of the people more than you do. The casual would look at my list and probably pick it, and I think that the people that know what they're talking about when it comes to shows would probably be more impressed with yours.
It all comes down to preference. I think like Hellfire's a strong one for mine, but the other ones are like a little bit niche. Like the Warriors concept album is what? Nietzsche. It's a little bit Nietzsche.
Niche?
I know it's not how you pronounce it. That's
niche.
Yes, niche. It's a little niche.
A little niche.
So here's the thing.
Son of a
That's
niche.
one of those words that for some reason I don't hear it enough in everyday thing, and every time I go to say it, I have an internal debate on if it's niche or if it's niche, and I usually just try to gloss past it. But you had your little grin, so now thank you. I will make sure I say niche from now on. But I mean,
it's for the longest time, the fort that was kind of the center of the conflict at the start of the French and the Indian War.
Yes, that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fort Duquesne.
Mm-hmm.
For most of my life, I thought it was Duquesne.
Just like if you see yarmulke spelled out, written
yarmulke.
Down. Yeah, exactly.
Or Chanukah.
Yep, exactly.
Hanukkah.
But no, I think we have a solid, between the two of us, a great top 10. We have a lot of representation. What are some honorable? Do you have any honorable mentions that didn't get drafted?
I ended up keeping a lot of the Disney off my list because in the moment, draft fever catches up with you, and I just really changed my focus.
Pivot.
But let me hit you with 3 Disney villain songs that hit for me every time. Mother Knows Best, and its reprise from Tangled.
Okay.
Mother Gothel, also a fantastic villain.
See, I've only seen Tangled like once.
Oh, it's good.
I don't remember that song.
It holds up.
Okay.
Be Prepared from Lion King. That's kind of the villain song that started villain songs for me. Like that's the first kind of Disney movie that really stands out to me. And then I would also add Shiny from Moana.
That's a good one. I didn't even think about
Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords. Yep. That song is absolutely a blast. I don't think that Tamatoa has the same kind of gravitas as a lot of the villains whose songs I
Yeah.
picked in my actual 5. But Shiny is, once again, Lynn, you nailed it. Great,
Yep.
great song.
Great. Some of mine, yeah, Shiny is one I didn't even consider. The only one that I had highlighted for top picks that you didn't take, because like I had You'll Be Back, I had Stars, I had Poor Unfortunate Souls. Those were going to be in my top ones. Is Nobody Needs to Know from the last 5 years. The last 5 years is one of my favorite musicals, and that one towards the end when Jamie's just like kind of justifying being a piece of shit and cheating on Kathy, because like he's saying, well, it's because she
Spoilers,
didn't
my
give me.
God.
Dude, you should have watched this. We talked about this so much. But yeah, spoilers. I'll put a disclaimer at the beginning when I edit it. Spoilers for some of these musicals. Apologies to people. But when he's just justifying it, saying that like, well, she didn't give me what I need throughout like the whole thing, but he's just like cheating, having affairs, and then even says a line like to the woman that he said to Kathy earlier in the show, just reusing these lines and basically saying he's lying to Kathy's wife, but telling them like never lie to you and everything like that. Just really being a piece of shit in this that song. So that's kind of a villain song, even though he's not necessarily the villain of the story. I consider that a villain song.
Look, you don't have to sell me on husband becoming a philandering piece of shit equates villain. That's an easy sell for
Fair.
me. I'm not trying to be pro that guy.
I did have on my list Master of the House from Les Mis.
I thought about it too, but I had to choose between that and Stars.
And I do think Stars is the stronger pick out of those. I had The Pitiful Children from Be More Chill. That's just, I enjoy Be More Chill. It's a little bit more of a fun one. I did have You Will Still Be Mine from Waitress, which is the one sung by her husband. I really like that song, despite how big of a piece of shit her husband is. And then I had Devil Take the Hindmost from Love Never Dies, the Phantom sequel, which is a song Raoul and Phantom sing, because you can make the argument that both of them are kind of the villain of that story, and everything that's happening, both kind of viewing Christine as an object and something to battle over. And so I had that. Oh, and Hard to Be the Bard from Something Rotten, performed by Christian Borles, Shakespeare singing it, where he's just a pompous, arrogant piece of shit. So he's not truly a villain, but kind of the villain of that story. Lines are blurred. But no, I think we definitely, the two of us, selected the best 10 from our list. Some great ones. Let us know in the comments what villain songs you think that we missed and what you think were a travesty that were not picked. So go to YouTube, let us know in the comments, comment on our Instagram post, let us know what we got wrong, what you think we should have included. Brad, any final notes before we close out? We'll have a nice short little episode this week.
Look, man, I just wish you a happy spring, and may the pollen stop screwing over your life.
You as well. I do think at the end of the month...
Do you have something else?
Sorry. Okay. No,
ahead.
you go.
Fucking Pope Leo the 14th. Chicago boy. Pope. USA. Let's go.
The only thing I'm worried about
this, man.
I haven't watched Conclave, so I saw that there were reports that there were people who were involved in the selecting of the Pope that were watching Conclave because they'd never been part of one before, and it's apparently fairly accurate-ish. So I don't know, but I feel like Americans get in the weeds with stuff so much more. Like I saw there was someone else there like, yeah, I just think of him as Bob, like he's someone that he grew up with. So like it's weird for him to be the Pope. Yeah, I've enjoyed the post that's like, I think this will probably be the first Pope that's ever saved big money at Menards. Like there's a good chance the Pope has tried Malort. Like, different things like that.
Corey saw a tweet. She showed me one that said this is likely the first pope that's ever touched the bean. And someone commented, I thought they were supposed to be celibate.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
look,
great.
I absolutely love having an American pope. And if for no other reason, then we can just say, take that, Europe.
Exactly.
USA, USA, USA. When he comes to Chicago for the first time, I'm going.
You'll have to fill us in. You'll come on the pod and do a recap of your Pope visit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll see if I can meet the guy. I got some strings to pull.
Okay. Get after that.
Yeah.
Could we be the first podcast to have the Pope on?
Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
I don't want that.
At
Let's not do that.
Pontifex, hey,
This
want to
like
come on down once more?
We'll make
Dad
him do the
brings some
sign
heat.
off.
That brings some heat to the old pod.
Yeah, no, I don't want the smoke. But I think for this month's movie, what I want to
smoke.
do, is Brad. I'm going to talk you into watching on the PBS app the pro shot of the West End performance of Next to Normal. It aired last night, so this past Friday on PBS's Great Performances. Stellar cast. I started watching it. Next to Normal is one of my favorite musicals, and so now that there's a pro shot version, I want to review it. It's available to stream through the PBS app for free through June 30th. So I'm like, let's knock it out for our May movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Give people a chance. The only thing as of now, I've seen reports that they may on the app have an uncensored version. Right now is only the censored version that they aired. So where they dub non-swear words over the swear words. So that can be a fun game when you watch it. Try to figure out which ones were changed.
A lot of see you next Tuesdays.
The C word is never in the original musical, so you don't need to be watching for that one. Okay.
So West End, they snuck it in. Those Brits love that word.
That's fair. They do love it. And that's one of the things I love about them. So that'll do it. Thanks. that they love the word
for their
nope. That they appreciate the word, and you're able to use it more freely without judgment. All right. On that note, we're gonna close out this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Go do all the fun. Follow, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that fun stuff. See y'all next week, and see you Sunday for my review of the penultimate episode of The Last of Us Season 2. And don't forget to go down once more.
Doc, do you know the word penultimate?
I'm not as think as you dumb I am. But
I'm sorry, Mr. Mitch.
Okay. Fuck you. Now we're done.